to an episode of the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Hey, it's your favorite wrestling fan here. Hope you guys had an amazing weekend. Hope you guys had a great time watching WWE Elimination Chamber. I gotta be honest, it's probably one of the best WWE Elimination Chamber pay-per-views. Basically, it's up there. It's up there when it comes to, great matches, great promos. Great wrestling inside the ring. Awesome turn of events. The unpredictability factor in terms of professional wrestling is automatically like a huge thumbs up for the W for just wrestling fans in general. So I had a good time watching that. Watching some NCAA basketball for the men's and the women's. It is March. As of today, it is March 3rd, of course, awesome March Madness coming on. We're going to get the brackets pretty damn soon. I did see that. I think it was South Carolina and Texas about the coin flip for the first seed. Thought that was pretty wild. It was pretty insane. Deebo Samuel getting traded to the Washington Commanders. There's the sports world is on fire. It always is. There's always something to talk about, especially in terms of WWE. In terms of, there was a boxing match too that one of the guys took a knee and it was like, dude, that's an automatic, that's out of you get out. I'm just kidding. No, but all in all, great sports. Now we're going to talk about some professional wrestling. So thank you so much. Of course, our first segment, we're going to talk about SmackDown. For the SmackDown review, I'm going to try to talk about subjects that are not really so much about the Elimination Chamber, like Cody Rhodes and all this other stuff, because we're going to talk about it in our third segment, so make sure you stay tuned for that. In our second segment, we got Monday Night Raw talk. I have not checked a single shred of social media, have not watched WWE Monday Night Raw, so I'm going to go in there giving you guys my blind predictions, obviously, if you guys watched it. And if you guys just watching me babble on and on being wrong, if you want to participate in the chat, it's totally cool, still can. If you want to provide some spoilers, I'm not really that ruins it. I can find out the results of, what happens. Most of the time that is actually how I used to get my my WWE news on Saturdays and AEW events as well, because I usually work Saturday nights, so this Elimination Chamber was actually pretty badass because I actually got to sit down and watch the whole damn thing, watch the pre-show. It was sick. It was pretty cool. But like I said, usually I work 11 to 7. I check out, you can't help but to stumble upon results. I try hard not to. Hard not to, but I'm like, oh, okay, I can still watch those matches knowing that this happened, that happened. It doesn't really ruin it for me. So yeah, don't be shy. Drop your thoughts inside that chat. In our third segment, we're going to talk about Elimination Chamber, like I said. Fourth segment, we got WWE NXT review. We're going to talk about what happened last Tuesday. And then our fifth and final segment, like I said, I was watching a lot of NCAA men's and women's basketball. I was watching the women's, and man, these girls, that last buzzer beater. It wasn't a buzzer beater. It was a long 3 in overtime when Maryland picked up the victory. I thought that was super cool. But anyways, I was watching it and I was like, dude, these girls are amazing, phenomenal athletes. And I was like, man, these girls could be WWE superstars. And I was like, oh, I wonder what kind of WWE superstar could be, NCAA basketball worthy. So I did a little bit of research and I constructed a WWE women's basketball fantasy team. We're going to give you guys my starting 5, my bench and reserves. Obviously, maybe a couple of honorable mentions. So we're going to get into some fun. Obviously, a nice little fun fifth segment to kind of, drift you guys off. I'm only live on Mondays. Sucks, but, still check out some content. Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show, to the network. All right, before we get into any of the action, just want to remind you guys, if you have a burning question or hot take in terms of the world of professional wrestling or just something you've been dying to get off your chest here at the GSMC Sports Network, we are all ears. This show is all about keeping the conversation lively, making sure you guys feel like your voice is part of the mix, so don't be shy to drop your thoughts inside that chat. And if you really want to make sure your comment, question, or concern gets noticed, go ahead and smash that $sign there, which guarantees anything you put inside that chat box is going to be talked about and featured on this show. Plus, it's a great way to support the channel. Your super chats helps us keep the lights on all these amazing podcasts with these passionate, enthusiastic, charismatic podcasters who want to do one thing, is to make sure you guys consume all the sports content that you love absolutely free. We're super grateful for each and every one of you guys who joins us here daily on the GSMC Sports Network. So let's keep this party started. let's get this party started. Send in those super chats, those super stickers, because you guys are super awesome, and together we will make sure this is the best wrestling podcast in media. And obviously, if the super chat is not your thing, go ahead and hit up that tips and donations link. Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like. Just remember to Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show. Follow the show, follow the network. Here at the GSMC Sports Network, we do love a lot of peace, love, and positivity, 1,010%. But in terms of talking sports, it's inevitable. There's going to be some disagreements. There's going to be some criticisms. It's all good. It's already water under the bridge. It's all gravy, baby. Don't even worry about it. Don't be shy. Drop your thoughts inside that chat. All right. So without further, maybe we should pop that bad boy back on. Without further ado, let's talk about some WWE SmackDown. It was good. It was a good SmackDown. Like I said, I'm going to try to not so much fixate around exactly what happened in Elimination Chamber. So we're going to start out. Trish Stratus kicks off the show. I thought it was pretty cool to see her in her hometown of Toronto. 25th year anniversary. It was funny how she called out a dad in the WWE universe, talking about how generations and generations of wrestling fans are being born still to this day, especially with this launch of the Netflix era in WWE. And so now it's kind of inevitable. WWE's blowing up. Kids are going to be into it. Adults are getting into it. Even fans that once dabbled into professional wrestling, like, I grew up during the, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H, and then, once when it got to like the John Cena Ruthless Aggression era, once when the Attitude Era left, and the Divas started getting some action that wasn't, really degrading, I guess you can say. But yeah, once when girls started kicking ass, taking names, obviously outside of the Attitude Era, but in the Attitude Era there was still some pretty cool women's wrestlers for that. But Trish Stratus calls him out. He was like, yeah, because she knows that during that time when he was probably a wrestling fan around the Trish Stratus era, he had her poster up on the wall of her in high heels, on hands and knees. I thought it was kind of funny how she called it out. Even the dad was he was participating in it. I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty funny. And she went on to say that this is her first time that her kids are going to be able to watch her wrestle, so I definitely feel that is super cool, 1,010%. Chelsea Green, fellow Canadian, comes out saying that she is representing the American people. People in America are better, obviously, talking trash to her hometown Canadians in Toronto. And I feel like that's what Chelsea Green was kind of doing. It was genius. It was genius because, playing off of, what's happening politically, not going to get into it. What happened with, the NHL All-Star game about Canadians booing the USA national anthem. And, the way that Chelsea Green was able to kind of involve that in her promo to manipulate the fans. And then she started talking about hockey too. And it was just, all in all, it was just a great promo. I thought that was super great. I thought that was super cool. And, then you had a match between, Tiffany Stratton and Chelsea Green, which ultimately got interrupted because Candice LeRae and Nia Jax get involved, but they were eventually kind of ran out. I thought that was kind of cool. USA Men's Tournament for the title. I liked that. I liked the aggressiveness by Nick Aldis. It was a nice twist. You would never really saw this during the Vince McMahon era. Definitely Triple H Paul Levesque is, kind of spicing things up a little bit. Then we had a backstage promo with the new young bloodline, Solo Sikoa looking absolutely disgusted as of, Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga as well. It seems like these three guys really are never going to see eye to eye. They're never going to be a cohesive unit ever again in WWE. Solo Sikoa was chosen to be in the tournament, but then he said he wanted to give it to Jacob to kind of rep the family because I want to show you that I love you, Jacob. I love you. So Andrade took on Jacob Fatu, and it was a great match. It was a great match. I was kind of pulling for Andrade to be the final three. I was kind of hoping maybe him instead of Carmelo. I do love Carmelo. He's cool and all. But Andrade just looks more impressive every single time he steps inside that ring. And I don't want the same thing to happen to him what happened his first stunt in WWE when he made it back. Well, when he got called up from WWE NXT, they didn't know what to do with him. Lost the talent. He had to go back down to AEW. he kicked ass over there for a little bit, but then storylines, or bookings, started to grow a little tiresome, a little bit, a little stale. So Andrade decided to come back to WWE. Him marrying Charlotte Flair potentially might have something to do with it, but according to reports, I guess they're legally split up. I may be divorced, not too sure. Don't want to say anything that's inaccurate, because that's in terms of relationships, that's a pretty touchy subject. So I want to see Andrade do better. I want to see him as a United States champion. He would represent the title super cool. All of his matches, like I said, are absolutely must see. But we had Jacob Fatu pick up the victory and move on in the tournament. We got the Street Profits taking on Los Garza, a match that didn't ever take place. DIY comes out to attack the Street Profits. Los Garza then starts to attack DIY. Pretty Deadly get mixed up in the mix, and then you see the Motor City Machine Guns, and it was crazy. Then Los Garza back onto it. I thought they were going to come out on top and clean house, but then you started getting security involved, and these 5 teams are going at it. And, I like it because I feel like the WWE SmackDown Tag Team division has been, kind of lackluster within the past couple of months. So I like how they're establishing this. Pretty Deadly, no longer a joke. Los Garza, no longer Smash Match participants. Motor City Machine Guns coming to WWE. Like I said, I feel like that, rejuvenated the tag team division. The Street Profits finally getting some love, TV time. I hope they win the championships. I say this over and over again. I love D'Angelo Dawkins. I love Montez Ford. I feel like Montez Ford could be a future WWE champion with the right bookings. And then, DIY, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, they're better together. They fought each other before, like in unsanctioned matches and stuff like that. So, I like to play, I like to put like a gold star on DIY because, they kind of played into it too. They turned heel. The DIY babyface wasn't really, it was working, but I feel like they are more of a threat. They are more of just antagonistic. They're more of an aggressive team now. They're not afraid to cheat, extend the truth a little bit, maybe do some things behind the referee's back, kind of causing a little bit of a stir between the fans. I like it, definitely. Turning Pretty Deadly babyface too was pretty cool. Los Garza, not really a babyface, but and same with the Street Profits. I feel like they're right there stuck in the middle. But overall, good promo. Next, we had another promo. Drew McIntyre coming out talking John Cena and his giant-ass bald spot that has its own gravitational pull. Or he said something like that. Like, that was insane. I got to be honest, I laughed during that. Hopefully I don't get, bad karma for laughing because I'm like, no, I don't want, I would hate, oh, God, that, if I ever went bald, man. If I ever went bald, I would go full bald, man. I would go like Stone Cold Steve Austin, all the way, no, imagine, like, it gone. Oh, God, I don't want to talk about it. So, anyways, moving on. Politically, I kind of liked how Drew McIntyre was like, John Cena, you've been holding people back for years, kind of alluding to once when Drew McIntyre was first introduced in WWE. Superstars like him and other uprising stars, John Cena would refuse to put him over because he wanted to be, obviously, job security. He wanted to be the face of WWE. So, I thought that was actually pretty badass. I thought that was, he wanted to make it personal, and then, because back then John Cena had a bad reputation of burying young talent, so he looked better. And then the last thing Drew McIntyre said about John Cena was he says, "I will bury you." Once again, kind of alluding to what happened in the past. But it was cool. I love Drew McIntyre whenever he talks. Then he saw Damian Priest come out, then Seth, then CM Punk calling Seth Rollins another mitten was pretty fun. It was pretty funny. Overall, great promo. I liked how Logan Paul came out with the John Cena theme song. I thought that was great. I love how Logan Paul is becoming more involved into WWE storylines instead of just coming once in a while. I didn't really like how WWE had him defend his United States Championship minimally. I thought he should have been on the show over and over again. During an interview with Michael Cole, obviously his podcast, Impulsive, He was saying he was getting some get out of town heat or go home heat that a lot of WWE universe, they judge Logan Paul. They don't really like the way he's perceived in WWE. They perceive him and his brother as these guys that made it into an industry based on popularity, based on publicity, based on likes and subscribes, and basically digital media, social media and stuff like that. But Logan Paul inside the ring, I got to be honest, he's good. He's great. I can't really, I can't really attest to that. I can't really, say that he has go home heat or anything like that. But I do feel like if WWE wanted to make Logan Paul more of an asset, not really an asset. That's not the right word. To be taken seriously by the WWE universe, maybe he should have been, broadcasted on live TV maybe more often than not. He had these little promos where he was feuding with the LA Knight. So far in every feud he's had, he's kind of been the heel. I feel like he's only been the heel. But he did fight Roman at Crown Jewel, and I think that was once when Roman Reigns, the bloodline was at its utmost, top tier, up on Gestapo, king of the heat, king of the ring, king of the hill, whatever you guys want to call it. And so then Logan Paul fought Roman Reigns, and a lot of people were like, oh my God, he can actually do it. And maybe, just slightly maybe, people were like, maybe they were rooting for him. Maybe they were. Maybe they weren't. All right, in the rapid fire, wrapping this segment up, the LA Knight defeats Santos Escobar to make it into the triple threat match. Carmelo Hayes pulls and Eddie Guerrero throws a chair at Braun Strowman. Falls down, referee turns around, calls the DQ. So I thought that was pretty cool. LA Knight defeats Jacob Fatu and Carmelo Hayes in that triple threat match to determine the number one contender for the WWE United States Championship against Shinsuke Nakamura. In the main event, we had Roxanne Perez team up with Liv and Raquel, the three-time WWE Women's World Tag Team Champions, defeating Bayley and the former champs Naomi and Bianca. It was a good match. Roxanne Perez, with the pop rocks right there. Then, of course, you had, she pinned Bayley. I thought, overall she pinned Bayley. I thought that was pretty badass. I thought it was pretty funny. But, not really funny. Because you know how Bayley is perceived in NXT according to Roxanne Perez. So, I like that. Then, freaking Alexa Bliss comes out hinting at not the Sister Abigail, hinting at joining Uncle Howdy's crew, hitting that Sister Abigail. I thought that was pretty cool. All in all, like I said, it was a great episode of SmackDown. This was the go-home show before WWE Elimination Chamber, but all in all, I thought it was pretty awesome. All right, guys, do not go anywhere. We're going to jump on into some WWE Monday Night Raw talk. So grab your favorite snack, grab your favorite ice-cold beverage, and join me here in about 25 seconds. So, hey, do not go anywhere.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
And we are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your favorite wrestling fan here, Eric Rodriguez, here to talk about the greatest thing in the world of professional wrestling, all the action inside and outside the ring, backstage curtain calls, all the rumor, all the drama. We talk about superstar inactive statuses, injury updates. We talk about contract negotiations amongst superstars, extensions, and new signings. We talk about promotions from WWE to AEW to New Japan Professional Wrestling to the if it makes major news in the world of professional wrestling, we talk about it here on this show 1,010%. So make sure you guys Superman punch that like and subscribe button, and all your dreams will come true. Of course, if your dreams are watching more professional wrestling content, 1,010%. All right, without further ado, we're going to jump on into our second segment. But before we do any of that, just want to remind you guys to go ahead and hit up that tips and donations link at the GSMCpodcast.net. Also, hit up those super chats. We definitely love hearing from you guys. If you have a burning question or hot take in terms of the world of wrestling, or just something you've been dying to get off your chest, here at the GSMC Sports Network, we do love a lot of peace, love, and positivity, 1,010%. But we want to make sure you guys feel like your voice is part of the mix. So don't be shy. Drop your thoughts inside that chat. And if you really want to make sure your comment, question, or concern, like I said, pop that $ right there. Anything you guys put inside that chat box is going to be featured, talked about, maybe even debated about on this show. Plus, it's a great way to support our channel. Obviously, we have a lot of passionate, charismatic, enthusiastic podcasters who have one goal in mind: to make sure you guys consume all the sports content that you guys love so damn much. And guess what? It's absolutely FREE free. So, show us a little love. Hit up those super chats. We are super grateful for each and every one of you guys who joins us here daily on the GSMC Sports Network. Your support makes all the difference. So let's keep this party going. Send in those super chats, those super stickers, because you guys are super awesome, and together we'll make sure this is the best wrestling podcast in the world. Once again, if the super chat is not your thing, go ahead and hit up that tips and donations link at the GSMCpodcast.net. Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like. Just remember to Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show. Follow the network here at the GSMC Sports Network. We do love a lot of peace, love, and positivity, 1,010%. But in terms of talking sports, it's inevitable. There's going to be some disagreements. There's going to be some criticisms. It's all good. It's all wet. It's already water under the bridge. It's all gravy, baby. Don't even worry about it. Don't be shy. Drop your thoughts inside that chat. All right, without further ado, we're going to talk about our next segment. We got some WWE Monday Night Raw talk. Like I said, I have not checked a single shred of social media. No TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, none of that. Going in there, giving you guys my blind predictions about what's going to go on WWE Monday Night Raw. Obviously, it's airing live, right? And, well, it already aired live on the East Coast, 5 o'clock. But on the West Coast, it's, on Netflix streaming. You could watch... you can watch the replay. Sometimes I prefer watching it at 8 o'clock. Especially with this Netflix thing, how you can, just kind of fast forward. And, I like it. I think it's pretty cool. So without further ado, we got WWE Monday Night Raw talk. What's going to happen tonight in Buffalo, New York? We have Ivy Nile taking on Lyra Valkyria for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship match. Obviously, this is Ivy Nile's second chance at it. She's hungry. She's hungry. She wants to eat. But, I feel like there might be somebody else that might get involved in the match. We had a promo during the week with Selena Vega, basically saying that, she's ready to assume the role that she was destined to be, to represent her country and just kind of be an overall badass. So it'd be kind of cool to see this match at WrestleMania, a triple threat match. Obviously, you saw these three girls go at it in the first round to crown the inaugural WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion, and the match was good. It was great. All three of these girls have amazing chemistry together. They kind of have the same tendencies. I do Lyra Valkyria, I do feel like kind of has a leg up. She has she's an NXT Women's Champion. She's also she has a high flying aerial attack, but nothing that Ivy Nile can't do. Obviously Zelina Vega as well. So I would love to see this match being made at WrestleMania. Are we going to get it? Not too sure. Is Lyra Valkyria just going to take out Ivy Nile tonight to call it, to call the ball game? Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. Obviously, we are kind of heading toward WrestleMania. We had Bianca Belair It's been a rough couple of days for Bianca. Obviously, what happened with with Jade and Naomi. It was crazy. Bianca saw Jade come out. She was slamming on the Elimination Chamber pod. She was happy. She was ecstatic, and she thought she was going to kick the holy hell out of Liv Morgan. And then she went right after Naomi, sent her to the hospital, sent her out of the Elimination Chamber. So we only had like 5 chicks, but it was cool. It was great. These amazing competitors pulled it off. But we're going to find out, Bianca Belair's, thoughts tonight, especially heading toward the women's world heavyweight championship match. Like I said, I would love to see Rhea and Bianca tear it apart and, at WrestleMania. But Iyo Sky, she's so damn impressive. She's super impressive. I would love to, for me personally, I would love to see this match, kind of being interrupted. I would love to see, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, and Iyo Sky in a triple threat match for the WWE Women's World Heavyweights Championship at WrestleMania. I feel like that would like a steal the show kind of match. I hope it happens. I feel like that'd be pretty, I feel super cool. We do have some bad news. I guess The Rock is across seas. No, John Cena, excuse me. John Cena is across seas, shooting a movie, like a movie photo shoot or something like that. So we're not going to be able to find out any words from, probably most likely we're not going to hear anything from Cody Rhodes till like SmackDown. We're going to, not going to hear from The Rock, which sucks because I want to so bad. And John Cena, but next week, WWE, I think it's 2 weeks. 2 weeks, I think it is. We're going to get the European tour where John Cena is set to, be on 3 straight Monday Night Raws, obviously building up toward WrestleMania. So hopefully we'll get some answers then. But, they're going to have us waiting on pins and needles. Gunther, Jey Uso, we're going to see more of this, them going back and forth. After what happened at Elimination Chamber, I feel like these two got to step it up. Main event Jey Uso, everybody thought, we're a Rumble winner. We're going to, they're going to fight in the main event night 2. Not too sure of that anymore. Honestly, I do not know. They might be a night 1 kind of thing, which would be cool. Obviously, it's main event is a main event. And I don't feel like Jey Uso would be that upset about it. But, I want to see these guys tear each other apart. I want to see some bad blood. I want to see them. They have obviously big shoes to fill, right? With what happened between The Rock, and Cody Rhodes not selling his soul. So now we have Cody Rhodes taking on John Cena in the main event at WrestleMania for the WWE Undisputed Championship. Man, it's hard to compete with that. Jey Uso, Gunther, I want to see them tear each other apart more. I want to see it get to the point where Jey Uso is viewed as the underdog. Because a lot of people, according to the storyline, it is. He is the underdog, right? That's what it's supposed to be. But the way how his momentum is and the way the fans are, ultimately behind him and the way Gunther is, it feels like even, and like I said, maybe this might be a predetermined notion because of their match at WWE Saturday Night's main event where Jey Uso was this close of beating Gunther for that title, and now they're going to run it back at WrestleMania. So maybe that kind of poses a reason why. But like I said, I feel like these guys have some big shoes to fill in terms of promoting their main event match at WrestleMania. We're going to have a tag team title match we have the War Raiders taking on the Creed brothers. Can't wait to see this match. I feel like it's going to be great. I really honestly don't find any kind of reason why the War Raiders would drop the titles tonight to the Creed brothers. Maybe to kind of switch it up heading toward WrestleMania season, because as of right now, the War Raiders just seem so dominant. There's not really any other tag team besides like these two. Obviously, you have the LWO, you have the New Day, you have the Alpha Academy. You don't really have any serious hardcore tag teams on Monday Night Raw. That's why I thought Nathan Frazier and Axiom were going to be during the transfer portal end up on Monday Night Raw. Obviously, that did not happen, but I don't know. It's it's up in the air. Obviously, but I am leaning toward the War Raiders retaining here. Next, we're going to get some feedback. We're going to get some, a confrontation between Seth Rollins and CM Punk. Is it going to get crazy? Not too sure. Most likely it will be. Same stuff. They'll probably attack each other, and then then the security guards have to kind of push them away from each other. We might see the rare sighting of Jason Jordan. I do and I don't wish to kind of I don't know, but they're building up their match at WrestleMania. Roman's going to get involved some way, somehow. We're going to get a triple threat match at Mania 41. We have the WWE Women's Champions. Obviously, I don't know if they're going to head for a celebration, but, I feel like they will. They're going to find their next competitors pretty soon here. I feel like WWE kind of let it stew for a little bit. What's going to happen with the Judgment Day? I'm not too sure. But, I'm kind of heading toward Asuka and Kairi Sane coming back from injury together. The Kabuki Warriors will be put in a position where they can be a babyface World Tag Team Champions, at WrestleMania, fighting Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Because as of right now, I don't really know the best team to kind of fight them, to kind of have the Tag Team Championship match kind of pop. Except the Kabuki Warriors, maybe... kind of building up a storyline between Liv, Raquel, and the Kabuki Warriors might take some time. But, you could have, at WrestleMania night 1 or night 2, like an open challenge for the Women's World Tag Team Championships, where you see Asuka and Kairi Sane, the Kabuki Warriors, come back. And then, obviously, Damage Control back together once again. And, it'd be a big night. It'd be a big night. Are we going to keep getting this back and forth banter between the Judgment Day? Are we really? No, it's not that maybe I am. I feel like at this point, the Judgment Day needs something new. It's, are they going to add another member? Not too sure. Or will they ultimately implode? If they do add a new member, I thought it would be pretty badass to, if Dominic Mysterio and Finn Balor maybe eventually caves in and he's like, all right, I have the new character picked out for the Judgment Day, but you have to step into the ring with him and, and face him, see if he's Judgment Day worthy, and then bam, out comes the demon Finn Balor. Would be pretty badass. That'd be pretty interesting to see. He summons the demon once again to do his dirty work, takes out Dominic Mysterio, and then they have a match between Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio at WrestleMania 41. I feel like that'd be super cool. What's going to happen with the WWE Intercontinental title division? Obviously, AJ Styles wants it. What's going to happen between these three men, Pete Dunne, Penta El Zero Mite, and we also have Ludwig Kaiser. What is going to happen with these three men as well? Are they going to be implemented in the Intercontinental Championship picture? I hope they do. I hope they, I hope probably within the next couple of weeks, Adam Pearce may be holding a fatal four-way match between the four superstars, AJ Styles, Pete Dunne, Penta, and Ludwig. Would be pretty badass. They would probably, tear the roof off the place. But it'd be pretty cool. All right, guys, without further ado, we're going to jump on into our next segment. We have WWE Elimination Chamber's reaction. So grab your favorite snack, grab your favorite ice-cold beverage, and join me here in about 25 seconds. So, hey, do not go anywhere.
Looking for your daily fix of sports talk without having to pay for it? GSMC Sports Network is available on YouTube. Just search GSMC Sports Network. Get your fix of daily sports talk shows on YouTube, absolutely free. NFL, college football, NBA, MLB, MMA, UFC, fantasy football, and so much more. GSMC Sports Network has shows running all day long, with new sports shows starting every 2 hours. Just like on your favorite cable sports channel, except GSMC Sports Network is absolutely free. Just search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube to catch one of your new favorite shows, like the GSMC College Football Podcast, Chip Shot Football Podcast, Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, GSMC Basketball Podcast, and so many more. Check it out for yourself. GSMC Sports Network, now available on YouTube absolutely free. Search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube right now.
And we are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, and brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your favorite wrestling fan here, Eric Rodriguez, every Monday night only on the GSMC Sports Network, GSMC Podcasting Network. So make sure you guys Superman punch that, like and subscribe so you get that notification. Go live 8 p.m. Pacific time, 11 p.m. Eastern time on the network. So yeah, don't miss it. We talk about anything in terms of, inactive statuses, injury updates, contract negotiations, extensions, and new signings among superstars. We talk about promotion from WWE to AEW to New Japan Professional Wrestling to basically anything about wrestling. Even kind of step back in my time machine, talk about some ECW days, some good old days during TNA. Also, WCW as well. Sometimes, bring something out from the vault. It's pretty cool, pretty badass. So make sure you guys Superman punch that like and subscribe button. All right, without further ado, we have WWE Elimination Chamber. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Obviously, it was huge. One of the best Elimination Chamber pay-per-views of my life. One of the best pay-per-views, PLEs in WWE history. Just a lot of action, a lot of, leaving the world with, what if, what's going to happen. WrestleMania, I gotta be honest, a couple weeks ago, it seemed a little lackluster. Charlotte Flair chose Tiffany Stratton, loved Tiffany Stratton and everything, but I would have loved to see Charlotte go up against Rhea. And then you had Jimmy Uso randomly winning the Royal Rumble, and everybody's like, okay, we all know who he's going to choose. He chooses Gunther. Not much of a banger, not much of a surprise, especially when we got this same match at WWE Saturday night's main event. So, a lot of, what's going to happen. And now, after everything that happened at Elimination Chamber, I gotta be honest, damn near could have saved WrestleMania. I do love WrestleMania, and there would never, ever be a predicament or a situation where I would never watch WrestleMania. But it was looking pretty mid. It was looking pretty damn mid. So let's talk about it. Talk about WWE Elimination Chamber in Toronto, Canada. I think it was Scotiabank Arena. We have the women's Elimination Chamber match. Bayley, Roxanne Perez, Naomi, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, and Alexa Bliss. Before the match even got going, the bell rang, and then lo and behold, the returning injured Jade Cargill coming out, being an absolute badass. I thought, when she came into the ring, it was literally great. It was great cinema, great storytelling, great cinematography, great acting from Naomi, from Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan looked at it and she was like, no, like, I didn't do it, because she thought her time was up. And then if you look at Naomi, she looked scared. She looked shocked. She really honestly got caught. She got caught. She did it. Bianca Belair was inside the Elimination Chamber pod, banging on the window, being like, yeah, let's go, she's back. And then all of a sudden she attacks Naomi, and then all hell breaks loose. It was like I said, it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing amongst everyone. All the women involved. I loved how Alexa Bliss was inside the pod, and she looked a little sad, and I thought that was pretty funny. But no, it was great. Obviously, Jade Cargill coming back into the WWE, she's ready to kick some ass. She's ready to kick some ass. We've been waiting for this. We've been waiting for this forever. We were just being held on by a thread, thinking about what's gonna happen with Jade. Is this promo or whatever it's gonna take going to be a little lackluster? But I feel like it was great. Social media, obviously, Jade Cargill took the social media after what happened in Elimination Chamber and had this to say, and I quote, "There are wolves in the shape of women all around me. I can see the way they look into my eyes. I am not them, and they are not me. I weathered every storm that was meant to break me. I weathered every storm that was meant to." I read that over again. "You can't help but to talk about me. I saw the look in your eyes as soon as I walked in the door, mapping out how to send me to my demise. My presence makes you question yourself. I've let others block my destiny for legacy. People hiding their insecurities behind big smiles and hugs, trying to knock me for simply being me. Looking like God carved me out of marble. They wanted me to hide of that I'm blessed. They demanded proof I belonged. As if my scars were enough. Losing my mother while being a mother. Carrying the weight of being a mother. All while still thriving. You don't have to like me, but you will respect me. I'm here because I've earned it. Every scar, every loss, every step. I will not strike myself for anyone. Don't mistake my grace for weakness. I played by the rules long enough. Now it's time for mine. I'm one of one. I am that bleep. I wish I could say it. It would be pretty, kind of makes more of a statement. But, so Jade is back. Jade is back. Super excited. Can't wait to see more of it. It was great. Alexa Bliss, obviously, kind of bringing back that Twisted Bliss. She brought that move back. I thought that was pretty cool. Uncle Howdy implications, obviously, with the sister Abigail. She looked a little bit, like demonic. She looked a little dominant. Obviously, someone who did not have fun in the Elimination Chamber was the former WWE Women's World Heavyweight Champion, Liv Morgan. Obviously, showing off some bruises on social media. It was a good match. It was great. Bianca Belair was able to pick up the victory. I would have never had it, any other way. I feel like she does deserve it. And, she's going to have one hell of a match. All right, next we have Nia Jax and Candice LeRae taking on Trishy Time and Tiffy Time. This match was what it was. It was just for Trish Stratus wrestling in front of her kids for the very first time in Toronto, Canada, her hometown. Basically, that was it. Is Trish Stratus kind of heading toward a WWE full-time return? Not too sure. I feel like she will have a match at WrestleMania. I feel like she will be the one to dethrone Chelsea Green, which seems about right. Like, I don't want to see Chelsea Green take on Michin. I do love B-Fab, but she hasn't been featured on SmackDown for quite some time. You had the Street Profits come out on SmackDown, and she was nowhere to be found, which is kind of troublesome, kind of sucks. She's very talented, and I wouldn't want WWE to release her. But, and I know it's always been a dream match for Trish Stratton, quote unquote, in an interview she said, being thrown around like a rag doll from Nia Jax. So I guess she kind of got her wish here. It was a good match. It was a good match all in all. Obviously, at the end of the match, you had Tiffany Stratton, the WWE Women's Champion, defeat Nia Jax and Candice LeRae, with the help of Trish Stratus, WWE Hall of Famer. Next, we have an unsanctioned match between Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, obviously maybe Kevin Steen, and El Generico. But it was cool. I love the fact that Michael Cole actually did bring up their bring up their feud back in Ring of Honor. I thought that was pretty badass. It was violent, absolutely violent. They even took it to Toronto, Canada. They took them through the crowd. I thought that was super cool. I thought it was super great. I love how these two, like I said, I feel like the closest people in the company will have an amazing match, and more often than not, it's probably one of the most violent matches any of the people have been, because you trust them. You trust the chemistry. And obviously Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, friends in real life, best friends, and Randy Orton returned, which was pretty badass. Obviously, you see right there, RKOing Kevin Owens, and he was about to punt his head out the window. Obviously, that didn't really work out. But for me, this was probably the worst bump that either man took. Man, I was watching it. I was watching it with my wife, and then, I kind of thought the chairs were going to go through to break Kevin Owens' fall, but it never really did. And oh my God, Kevin Owens is one strong bastard, man. That's crazy. Absolutely taking a bump like that. That's insane. Next, we have the main event, the men's Elimination Chamber match. Not really much to say about this match, except that it was the best thing in the world. No, it was cool. It was super cool. A great match. Everyone looked absolutely phenomenal inside the match. Logan Paul, Damian Priest, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, John Cena, and Drew McIntyre. They all look great. They all look like they are gearing up for an amazing WrestleMania. Didn't Logan Paul eliminate Drew McIntyre? Don't tell me. I think so. Not too sure. Don't quote me on that. It was A lot of action going on all at once. It was insane. We got this confrontation between historical figures in WWE. Obviously, then they embraced themselves with a hug. Obviously, kind of squashing some past beef in the past. But Seth Rollins obviously booting, stomping CM Punk, doing anything in his power to stop the dream of CM Punk main eventing WrestleMania from happening, and he did it. And then it led to this, which, John Cena picking up the victory, winning the Elimination Chamber. And then it led to this, John Cena turning heel for, well, obviously he hasn't turned heel since he was the Doctor of Thugonomics. But, oh God, when The Rock went like this, I was like, dude, no. I saw the expression of John Cena's face first, and I was like, no way, this is gonna happen right now. Because I don't want to sound like a know-it-all, but I kind of speculated that John Cena would take The Rock's offer. He's desperate. He wants to become the best wrestler. He wants to become the best WWE champion of all time, winning that coveted 17th reign. And I feel like at this point, WWE needs to make it happen. But something that definitely caught me through this whole thing that happened, even from the vicious attack with Rand. What the hell is Travis Scott doing there? That's one thing I was kind of like, oh, okay, this would have been cool without Travis Scott. I wonder why they did that. But but like all in all, like it was a cool promo. But you really, what John Cena did in this promo. In an interview, he did say that when he leaves WWE, he wants to leave it better than when he showed up. He literally put Cody Rhodes over for the next 2 years as the babyface of WWE with one single promo with The Rock. Literally, Cody Rhodes will be loved by the WWE Universe for decades on decades. Cody Rhodes, he's the face of WWE. Fans absolutely love him. Kids were heartbroken. And it was something that a lot of people didn't see coming. John Cena as a heel, I speculated about it. I wanted it. I really, really did. Makes me think that when The Rock went like this at Bad Blood, didn't mean like, how John Cena throws up the word life or whatever. I was like, no way, this is going to happen. And it happened. And it was honestly, you thought about any other outcome heading toward WrestleMania that would, kind of beef up the match card. John Cena, you knew, was going to main event WrestleMania, but it was all about how is he going to make it in that title match. And he did it. Obviously, he did it shocking a lot of fans, but it was absolutely nuts. Obviously, another moment during the show that receives some recognition here was the end of the Women's Elimination Chamber match. Iyo Sky, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, having a nice little, intense. I thought it was intense. I liked it. Like I said, I want to see these three girls in a triple threat match. Obviously, I have not watched Monday Night Raw, so I do not know if Iyo Sky was able to dethrone Rhea Ripley for that Women's World Championship. I kind of wish she wouldn't. But, I want to see this so bad. These three women would be absolutely awesome. But Bianca Belair wins the Women's Chamber match. Kevin Owens wins the unsanctioned match. Cody Rhodes is the loser of Elimination Chamber. He's got his arse kicked. John Cena wins the Elimination Chamber. And we finally have our final winners of Elimination Chamber. We got Tiffany Stratton, the WWE Women's Champion, and the WWE Hall of Famer, Trish Stratus. So, all in all, I loved it. I thought it was one of the best Elimination Chambers I've ever seen in my life. One of the best WWE PLEs I've ever watched. All right, without further ado, we're going to talk about some WWE NXT. We got a recap coming, so grab your favorite snack, grab your favorite ice cold beverage, and join me here in about 15 seconds. So, hey, do not go anywhere.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.
All right, we are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your favorite wrestling fan here, Eric Rodriguez, every Monday night, live on the GSMC Sports Network, GSMC Podcasting Network, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time, here to talk about the greatest thing in the world, professional wrestling, all the action inside and outside the ring, backstage curtain calls, all the rumors, all the dramas, all the conspiracy theories. We talk about it here. We talk about contract negotiations, extensions, and new signings amongst superstars. We talk about promotions from New Japan Professional Wrestling to TNA to Ring of Honor to AEW to the WWE. If it makes major news in the world of professional wrestling, we talk about it here on this show 1010%. So don't forget to Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show so you guys can get some notifications when we publish videos with all the sports that you guys love so damn much. So yeah. All right, without further ado, we got WWE NXT recap. We started off with the WWE Women's North American Championship match. It was Stephanie Vaquer's first title defense in her reign, taking on Carmen Petrovic. And, I loved how Carmen was able to hold her own. I did not want to see Vaquer, obviously, just kind of, wipe the floor with her. I feel like Carmen Petrovic is an amazing superstar. She's going to go far within the wrestling industry. But ultimately, she's been part of WWE for quite some time. She's dabbled into some TNA action, which is cool, and I feel like it's great for her. But this might be one of the last chances she's going to get a title shot. On NXT, kind of sucks. But you have so much talent in the women's division on NXT. Kind of seems like at this point it's kind of like not even fair. But no, Carmen Petrovic, super exciting to watch, super impressive. She wasn't able to pick up the dub tonight, but Stephanie Vaquer was able to retain her title in a great match. After the match, you saw Julia show up, said that she wants to know who the best champion is. They are going. Ava, the general manager for NXT, announced later on in the show that we are going to get a title versus title match. It sounds cool and all. I know title versus title, but it's kind of throwing up a red flag for me. Mostly because I've seen how Mercedes Moné kind of being a multi-champion in AEW is hurting the women's division. And I know the women's division in NXT is absolute like bonkers, and it's like top tier, and it's the best women's division in the world of professional wrestling. But you kind of need that second title right there, that mid-card title on NXT. I honestly, maybe there might be someone that gets involved to kind of stop the match. That for me, that's the only logical explanation, because when you unify the championships, the storyline between Julia, it kind of becomes askew. Same with Stephanie Vaquer, and I don't want to see that happen. I don't want to see that happen between any of the girls, and it's happening at Roadblock. At NXT Roadblock, where there's actually it's in the last episode of NXT, there was a lot of like title versus title this, title versus title that. With TNA, I'm starting to believe that maybe, Roadblock will kind of be that like Survivor Series, like Raw and SmackDown, maybe. Right, obviously a couple weeks before NXT Stand and Deliver, you're going to get a championship change. You're going to get a championship change, and I feel like when TNA hosts I think their top tier PLE is Bound for Glory. I think it's Bound for Glory. So maybe the PLE before that will feature a lot of WWE NXT superstars. But, this is something that we discussed on this podcast. If the WWE NXT and TNA want this partnership to be beneficial for both companies, they have to trade titles. They have to constantly be, alluding to superstars, having crossovers that are going to continue to be badass, that are going to continue to be shocking, and most importantly, kind of, ultimately kind of makes sense. Like when, I've been begging for like a couple months now for Moose to wind up on WWE NXT. I feel like he'd be great there, and I'm right now I'm begging that Trick Williams makes it over to TNA to challenge for the TNA World Championship. That would be pretty cool. Obviously, in the past, him and Joe Hendry, they've teamed up, but they've also got into some some not scruffles, I guess you can say, but they would be absolutely great. The fans wouldn't really know who to cheer for. You got two absolute baby faces going at it. That would be pretty interesting to kind of see Trick Williams taking on Joe Hendry for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship in the future of this partnership. So, can't wait for something like that. Next, we have a promo. Lola Vice confronts the liaison between NXT and TNA, Ariana Grace, and she was standing right beside her father, Lola Vice, talking some crap, challenging Ariana Grace, saying, hey, are you going to be afraid? Do you even know how to fight? Did anybody in your family teach you how to fight? And then that kind of set her off. Then we had a match. The match was pretty good. The match was pretty damn good. I definitely liked how she was kind of able to, hold her own against Lola Vice. But ultimately, you had Vice pick up the victory. Next, we had Moose retain his X Division Championship against Lexus King. And, kudos to Lexus. He put on an amazing match, him and Moose. Definitely another banger. We had a couple of matches go back to back to back. After the match, you saw Oba Femi challenge doing that, we need to find out who the ruler is. And then he's going to be defending his NXT Championship, I think it is. His NXT Championship against Moose. So it'd be pretty interesting to see who becomes, this is a heavy hitter match right here. This is great. I can't wait. This would be one of the, this has to be the main event of Roadblock. I do love Julia. I do love Stephanie Becerra, and the title for title. You know what? Maybe that'll be the main event. I feel like that's going to be the main event instead of Oba and Moose going at it. But no, it's going to be great. Next, we have Jordynne Grace come out talking about how she wants to be an NXT champion. She wants to be an NXT just all in general. Ever since she kind of been in the backstage, she can sense the hungerness between every competitor in the women's division, and she wanted to be a part of the best women's division in the world. Roxanne Perez, of course, comes out, arrogant, cocky, self-centered, talking how she grew out of a place, obviously talking about TNA. She was the big fish in a small pond. Jordynne Grace, I saw during that promo, she was kind of smiling a little bit. She was like, oh God, did this girl really just bring that up? Because she does have a lot of friends. She has a lot of people that before she left TNA, before her contract expired, she did put over a number amount of superstars. Definitely 1,010%. She helped Tessa Blanchard. She also helped Masha Slamovich. She also helped Tasha Steeles kind of pick up a dub. And I think Rosemary might have defeated her once. I'm not too sure to quote me on that. But, she did really, really well. Jordynne Grace, obviously, is a phenomenal athlete, phenomenal competitor, an amazing human being, and I can't wait to see what she does in WWE NXT. Trick Williams backstage talking to Javon Evans, looking absolutely frustrated, telling Javon Evans basically dude, stop, stay in your own lane. Williams looked unimpressed with the newly acquired Ricky Saints. Maybe kind of alluding to maybe a little feud between them. That would be pretty cool. Maybe alluding to maybe Trick Williams turning heel. They've had a couple of shocking heel turns recently in WWE, like John Cena. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I feel like it would be kind of cool to see Trick Williams maybe become a fifth member of that, of the mystery group. But then again, they do need a star power. They definitely do need a star power. But the fans love Trick Williams so damn much. But with this new, like I said, newly acquired Ricky Saints, the fans are into it. The new revolution starts. It started on Tuesday. I personally would love to see Trick Williams. He was with Carmelo Hayes, and he was kind of like the sidekick kind of thing to a cocky Carmelo Hayes. Would be interesting to see if you see them, if he joins that mystery gang. Maybe not. It would be beneficial for the mystery gang, but it could ultimately kill Trick Williams' career. I don't know. He is pretty damn good. So, like I said, maybe taking a step into TNA, maybe challenging Joe for that TNA World Championship could be in the future. But Trick Williams looking frustrated. Can't wait to see what he decides to do next. Jada Parker in a promo talking crap on Kaylani Jordan, talking how ever since Kaylani Jordan, lost her NXT Women's North American Championship, she's lost her damn mind. And she even brought up her boyfriend during this. It was crazy. She said there may be a him in WWE, but you ain't her. I thought that was pretty badass. I thought that was pretty cool. Jada Parker, man, she's just so good at just talking mess. Pretty awesome. We had a no quarter catch crew. Tivion Heights Miles Bourne taking on the Hardy Boys, the TNA World Tag Team Champions, in a match. It was pretty great. You know, I love the Hardys, their new WWE theme. They were wearing their old school Hardy Boys merch. You even saw Ren Sinclair of the No Quarter Catch Crew kind of be in the back throwing up the Team Extreme sign, and then she looked at Charlie Dempsey and being like, I'm sorry, man, I grew up with these guys. You know, once again, talking about all the fandom and all the things that the Hardy Boys have done for WWE. I know Matt was super excited. You know, Jeff Hardy also, you know, wants to wind up back in WWE because it feels like he let the company down. You know, chance after chance after chance. Obviously, substance abuse is very, very difficult, 1,010%. So I feel like he has those demons weighing in over him. He feels like he does owe it to WWE to kind of give them to Jeff Hardy that he wanted to give them for years, years and years and years. But obviously that didn't happen thanks to the lingering the lingering of addiction, and it's hard. So I would like to see Jeff Hardy, wrestle in WWE. I've grown accustomed to the idea. At first I was like, no, I do not want to see the Hardy Boys back in WWE because I do not want them crippling the tag team division. But they look good. They look good inside the ring. They look good as the TNA World Tag Team Champions. So maybe, just maybe, there might be a chance. Fraxium at the end shows up. Obviously showing some respect. Nathan Frazier and Axiom, I definitely like that. Santina Morella, the director of authority of TNA, made the match official. We're going to have a TNA World Tag Team Championship match at NXT Roadblock. And I do kind of feel like they made it for the TNA World Tag Team Championships because, Axiom, Fraxium, they haven't lost a match in a long time. We have to show that they are human. And with the Hardy Boys coming to town, this is going to be one of those nostalgic matches where obviously I feel like the Hardy Boys are going to retain. Obviously that has, that. But then Fraxium has crossed over to TNA. They have fought and defended their titles there before. So, what's the difference of them doing it? But as the TNA World Champions, what's that? Maybe it could happen. And I would, for one, I would love to see that. Next, we had, Tony D'Angelo. We had the D'Angelo family looking pretty good, but I got to be honest, Stax Lorenzo seems like he's caught up in his ego, which is unchecked. No, I'm just kidding. No, but, kind of throwing, maybe Shawn Spears gets to him. That would be pretty cool. Maybe, like I said, I feel like that'd be like a shocking factor. Like Stax leaves the family to join Shawn Spears and his gang of hoodlums. And that would be pretty shocking for like a month. But then it'd be over and it'd be like, all right, like, I feel like it would have been better if he stayed with the family. So, probably, I don't think that's going to happen. But I do like the way that they kind of, like Stax, he admitted that he made a mistake. But then you had Rizzo, and then you had Cuspino basically back up the Don, being like, dude, you had a chance to be the boss, and every decision that you were making was bad. I don't want to say that the family was trying to make him seem a little, like, small, I guess you can say. But maybe it'll explode. I know the D'Angelo family have been together for quite some time. Breaking up usually, that's what happens when a superstar contract kind of ultimately kind of goes under, like what happened with Duke Hudson and Chase U and all that. But I don't want to see the family disappear. I got to be honest, they're fun to watch on NXT. Next, Chelsea Green is in NXT, looking like she's going to take on Soruka and Zarya next week. We had Eddie Thorpe hit in a promo talking to Trick Williams, saying that name a time and a place. And then in the main event, we had Wesley and Ethan Page taking on Ricky Saints and Javon Evans. Obviously, during Saints' debut, we kind of knew that he was going to pick up the dub. And he looked super impressive while doing it. So WWE NXT, the men's division, is also propelling to the next level. This is definitely going to be one of the heated shows that WWE has to offer. Partially, maybe in the future, could be better than SmackDown. Raw would be pretty hard because it is on Netflix, but hey, it's pretty badass. All right, our fifth and final segment, just a nice little fun segment to kind of drift you guys off into the week. Like I said, I am live only on Mondays, so if I talk a little bit too much, or if I have more than an hour show, I'm like, yeah, you know what? It is what it is. So now we're going to talk about, like I said recently, I've been watching a lot of NCAA men's and women's basketball, obviously March Madness. And then, these phenomenal women players, like they blew me away. Like it was crazy. And I was like, man, these girls are so athletic. They could probably be WWE superstars. And then I thought vice versa. And I was like, I wonder what kind of WWE superstars could lace up their boots and find themselves and hold their own on the hardwood. So I kind of came up with a basketball team of WWE women's superstars. So do not go anywhere. Grab your favorite snack, grab your favorite high school beverage, and join me here in about 25 seconds. So hey, do not go anywhere. And we are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your favorite wrestling fan here, Eric Rodriguez, every Monday night live on the GSMC Sports Network, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time, here to talk about the greatest thing in the world, professional wrestling. We talk about all the action inside and outside the ring, backstage curtain calls, all the rumors, all the dramas, all the conspiracy theories. We talk about inactive statuses among superstars and injury updates. We have contract negotiations, extensions, and new signings we talk about on this show. We talk about promotions like WWE to AEW to TNA to Ring of Honor to the NWA if it makes major news in the world of professional wrestling. We talk about it here on this show. So make sure you guys, Superman, punch that like and subscribe button and enjoy one of the best wrestling podcasts in wrestling news media. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not that cocky. But, I definitely want you guys to feel absolutely, don't be shy. Drop your thoughts inside that chat. And, this is our show. This is definitely our show. All right. So, like I was saying, this segment is me coming up with a fantasy basketball team of no one but WWE women's superstars. Recently, over the weekend, I watched a lot of NCAA men's and women's hoops. And, while I was watching it, I was like, man, these women are absolute, they're monsters on the court. They're phenomenal. They're exciting to watch. I definitely feel like a lot of these players are going to be drafted to the WNBA, and it's going to be absolutely badass. It's going to be great. It's going to be super beneficial for the product that the WNBA ultimately is. I know it's still a growing company. Obviously, with that addition of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, they had a nice little feud. But I feel like WNBA is on the map. They have a lot of great, intricate players who are absolute ballers. And, I've noticed that on the court. I was like, man, these girls are absolutely impressive. They blew me away. The way that they're able to kind of transition on offense, the way they kind of hold up on defense. Like these girls, they go hard on the paint, man. Like, it's crazy. It's absolutely exciting. These amazing athletes do deserve some recognition. But I kind of got thinking a little bit. I was like, man, some of these girls could be WWE superstars. And then I thought vice versa. I was like, you know what? I wonder if WWE women's stars could lace up their Nikes or whatever, or Jordans, whatever you want to call them, and, actually hold their own on the hardwood. So I did a little bit of research. I was like, I found a couple of WWE superstars who had played basketball, like in high school and in college. I think there's only one from the WNBA we're going to talk about. But, no, I'm super excited to talk about who could definitely hoop up with some of the best teams in the WNBA or the NCAA women's bracket. Obviously, I thought they would be able to. No, actually, you know what? Maybe. But, there would have to be an awesome strategy involved. There would have to be, definitely some practice to kind of develop some chemistry. Because you can't fake chemistry. You know what I mean? Chemistry is nothing that you can really, what is it? You can't really teach it. You can't really run, practice skill drills on chemistry. The only thing that's going to establish chemistry is, being around the same players in the long run. But, I definitely hope the team that I create will at least, maybe get within 10 or 20 points. I'm just kidding. No. So obviously we're going to go out with the head coach. We have the head coach. We have Candice Michelle. Candice Michelle played varsity and college basketball before she joined the WWE. And assistant head coach Jazz. Jazz was actually, she played professional basketball in high school, earning a scholarship to college. So she was pretty badass on the court. She was pretty damn good. Obviously, to earn a scholarship, you kind of have to be. And then we're going to go to the fitness conditioning coach. Trainer, I guess you could say. Victoria, she studied biology at UCLA and medicine at Loma Linda. And, she has a healthcare background, so I feel like she would be a great conditioning coach for the team. And then she has an assistant, Ariana Grace. Ariana Grace also majored in biology, so, definitely nice to have an assistant there. Someone who knows what they're doing. Biology, if you don't know, is the study of the human body. So, you got to know a thing or two about, if someone's dehydrated or if someone pulled a muscle or, all these other things that, WNBA or, women's basketball players, overall deal with. So we're starting out at guard. I have Kaden Carter. Kaden Carter, she has a basketball background, and just the way she moves inside the ring is absolutely electric. I can imagine her kind of being like a Steph Curry, kind of weave in and out of the defense to hit an easy layup, but maybe kind of be a deep under the radar, a deep threat. All right, in shooting guard, obviously she's like going to be our main. She's going to be our main star here. Jade Cargill. She talks the trash. She has intensity. She's physical. When she attended Sebastian River High, she was a team MVP, averaging 18.6 points per game and 8.3 rebounds. And then she also attended Vero Beach High. Both those teams actually did won 2 district championships under her, basically being an MVP. On her Vero team, she was MVP, and she was Conference Player of the Year, averaging 21.2 points, 13.2 rebounds, 6.2 steals a game. So, she's pretty badass. She's going to be the star. It's going to be the star of our team. Jade is going to kick some ass and take some names, and she's going to be the ace in the hole. All right, going on to the forwards. We have forwards. We're going to talk about Tamina. She was still featured on the WWE page, so I was like, all right, so she's going to play for the team. She went to, she was a top rebounder for her team. Although she wasn't the best at scoring, her defense ultimately won her the MVP when she went to the NWAACC tournament in the finals. She won MVP basically based on her defense, which is cool. Usually, stars, they don't get that recognition, but a defensive player, I feel like Tamina could still definitely kick some ass. Other forward, we got Bayley. Bayley, obviously, she's a b-baller. She's a baller. She's good. She was actually featured at the Celebrity All-Star game, and I think she had an assist. Did she score a point? I didn't watch. No, I watched bits and pieces of it, but I didn't see her kick some ass. She was on the b-ball team on Independent High School in San Jose, California. She made varsity as a sophomore. Her senior year, she was deemed the El Capitan. So obviously, I feel like that's pretty badass. And then sitting in the center, we have Lash Legend, the former WNBA draft pick. Definitely, gotta love and respect Lash Legend. In 2019, she was a second round draft pick for the WNBA. She went to Mississippi State. She set an NCAA tournament record for having 27 rebounds in a single game back in 2016. And, the way you see her in WWE just absolutely dominate inside the ring, she would be a steady, stable piece inside the offense. She would be an absolute ball. She probably still got it, man. Probably still got it. All right, moving on to reserves. Reserves, obviously, we have Nia Jax, who played in Palomar College, San Marcos. She played in college. So, she's going to be definitely being on the team 1,010%. Raquel Rodriguez, she was All-Valley MVP back in 2009 playing basketball. She won a scholarship playing basketball to play for A&M Kingsville. So you know that this girl's a baller. You see her, like I said, inside the ring, she looks like she could literally, hold her own. She feels, imagine driving to the rim and trying to get through Raquel Rodriguez would be like I wouldn't do it. I would never do it. That would be gotta be kind of crazy. All right, and the WWE NIL Next in Line program, we have the twins Haley and Hannah. I'm gonna say this wrong. Cavinder. They're, like I said before, WWE NIL superstars. They're going to put the WWE Women's Tag Team Division back on the map. I know a lot of people are, you see twins, you think of the Bella Twins, maybe like a revamped version. But I feel like they would, maybe be, not that I'm not saying Nikki and Brie weren't obviously different generations. It's kind of like, kind of debating the GOAT between LeBron James and Michael Jordan, In contemporary WWE, these women would be absolutely impressive. Instead of joining their 5th year and final year playing basketball in college, they signed a contract with WWE. Right now, they're in the NIL, and according to reports, it seems like they're kicking ass, taking names, and doing great. Obviously, wishing nothing but the best for these 2 young athletes. Next, we have Jada Parker. Jada Parker is in our list of reserves in LSU. She did play soccer, and then she was part of the USA U17 national soccer team. So she has some capabilities there. She has some athleticism in there, and her cousin was Jason Caffey, who played for the Chicago Bulls during the Jordan era, when he actually won 2 rings. So come on, man. If if your cousin used to play on the Bulls, and he probably knows Michael Jordan, maybe sat on the same seat as Michael Jordan, and then kind of maybe got some of that Mike secret stuff. I don't know if any of you guys watched the first ever Space Jam where Michael Jordan has the it was just water, and then Bugs Bunny was like, oh, Mike's secret stuff, and then everybody kind of they got all buff and they started being super good at basketball. So I'm not saying maybe Jada Parker got her hands on that drink and she's gonna kick some ass and take some names, but maybe she can. Also, on the reserve, we have Chelsea Green, the WWE Women's United States Champion. Let's just face it, every team, she's a huge Toronto Raptors fan. Every team has that player where, they go in there and they just take falls, and you need to have somebody in there who's really good at flopping. And nobody's a better complainer in the WWE than Chelsea Green. No, I'm just kidding. I bet she could score a bucket. Obviously athletic as hell. If you're a WWE superstar, and the way she's been within the wrestling independent circuits, there's no doubt in my mind she could score a bucket. But, we kind of have her as that person to kind of flop a little bit, and that. Next we have Bianca Belair. She's also had some athletic background. She's a very accomplished track and field star. So definitely, she's going to be on the team 1,010%. And, then we have a couple of honorable mentions. Obviously, can't have everybody on the team. We have Tiffany Stratton, the WWE Women's Champion, obviously on the U.S. Olympic team. Athletic background. She could probably score a bucket. Next, we have Rhea Ripley, the WWE Women's World Heavyweight Champion. I feel like, she would just be an absolute dominating piece in the offense. Everybody needs that enforcer. The Bulls had Dennis Rodman. The early Lakers had not Trevor Ariza. I think it was Matt Barnes. And, now you have it on the Golden State Warriors with Draymond Green. I feel like she would be an awesome, she would just get under the skin and she would just be kind of play bully ball a little bit. And she can kick some ass and take names, maybe get a couple of technicals, but she would make sure that the other team would not, even dare to mess with the other players. Kind of like the enforcer on the team. So that's my women's basketball team, fantasy basketball team, made up of nothing but WWE women's superstars. So if you definitely think that they could, at least win one game, make sure you drop it inside the comments. Or if you think I'm absolutely bonkers and I'm like, obviously, it's always fun to kind of have fun little segments. All right, guys. So, hey, that is it for me. Hopefully you guys had a great time watching the show. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Hope you guys are gearing up for an amazing, fun week with the Fam Bam living out here in Southern California. We're actually heading toward a cold front. No, I hate the cold weather. I hate rain. I don't like rain. I got to be honest. I don't like it. Definitely not 1,010%. I'm a guy who, outside it's 113 degrees outside. I'm that type of person. So yeah, the cold is it's not my style. Not my style. All right, guys. So without further ado, if I've not made you a wrestling fan by now, check out all the other podcasts. Make sure you guys follow us on Twitter /X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok for more content and updates. So hope you guys have an amazing week. Can't wait to see you next week. Stay beautiful, but most importantly, love you.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn ain't that great. I don't wanna go